Hello everyone, this is Nizam Mahmood. Welcome to my video. Today we are going to discuss Windows built-in command shells part 3. I already published Windows built-in command shell part 1 and part 2. In the description section, I provided those links. I highly recommend to watch those videos as well. The goal of this video to make you guys familiar the Windows built-in command that is useful and beneficial in our day-to-day IT practice. So let's start. The first command today we are going to discuss called Robocopy. So Robocopy almost the same idea about the Xcopy command to copy the content from a source folder to a destination folder or from the content from one computer to another computer. But Robocopy has much more feature than Xcopy. So let's start. So CMD and right click run as administrator. So in our command prompt, let's go to the CD to go to my root. Here, let's create a couple of folders called MD backup. And I also create, just for demo purpose, I create a backup folder and one source folder. So now I go to source folder. And here, let's create some file just for demo purpose. So ipconfig/all redirect, let's say ipconfig.txt. So I can just create a file called ip.txt under my source folder. Similarly, let's say systeminfo redirect sys.txt. These are all commands that we learned in our video 1 and 2. So get mac redirect, let's say mac.txt. So I create 3 files under my source folder. If you want to validate, go to Windows Explorer and go to the source folder. You see, this is the 3 files we have created. Now, using the Robocopy command, we are going to back up this file to our backup folder. So Robocopy, then our source folder is just create this, clean this screen, CLS command. So Robocopy C:/source, and then I'm going to space, destination is C:/backup, and then E/E means copy the empty folder. Then this is one of the options that I really like called log. So we can create a log file using this log parameter. So let's say my log file will be C:/temp and give a name of the your log file called, let's say, backup.log. So our expectation is it will copy the content of the source folder to the destination folder to the backup, and it will create a log file so that we can review what is the status of this Robocopy command. Okay, so let's start. So now you can see that it's a log file. So it looked like it create a log file here. So if we go to our temp folder now and just watch those log file, here you go. So now you can see here it is started December 27, source, files, everything. And these are some options he's suggesting us to do. But again, he said, look, 100% file copy down and how long it will take, etc. So this is a good review for, let's say I'm a network administrator. I run the copy from my one computer to another computer. I run this job and I just check the log file. So see the status of log that everything completed successfully or not. So this is good. And also if you go to the backup folder, for sure, these 3 files should be here as well. So Robocopy command now you can see. If you want to do like a more automation, these all things we are learning actually how to do automation. Let's assume this type of scenario that I work as a network administrator in any organization. So I have to back up my files from my one computer to my target computer. And I want to do automation in the scheduler task. So I can easily create a script using Robocopy command. So script means batch file. So open a notepad, type this command now, save it as a .bat extension, and then just create a job like a task scheduler job and just run it whenever you want to run it. Like at 4 a.m. in the morning, it will automatically execute this command. So very handy tool, Robocopy, and using the Xcopy. So if you type Xcopy command, same idea. These two command actually really very useful, and I highly recommend to practice both of them. Okay, so Robocopy. So next one we are going to discuss called association, ASSOC. This is actually file extension association. So if you're gonna type ASSOC, just type this command. Every files, just go to on the top. As you can see, it's huge. So in my computer, he's a .386. Each of the extension has what type of file association here. Easily you can do a query. Like for example, if I want to do what is the file association of my text file? You know, the command form, like at my notepad or text file. So if you type ASOC, and then .txt, space .txt, it will say, okay, this text file equal to text file. If you want to say, okay, you know, Microsoft Word, docx, so it is a call docs equal to word.document.12, so that in my computer Microsoft Office 12 is installed here. Let's say it's the 12 version of Microsoft Word. So every program that install on our program in our computer, what is the file association of that particular program? If we want to view that, ASSOC. So ASSOC actually it is association. It's the short format of association. A very handy tool, but again, it is not very widely used unless I want to troubleshoot something, you know, I want to view some extension of that particular program or file. So this program is handy. The next program this is called file compare, FC command. Again, FC /?, it will give me the manual of this command. So if I want to compare the content of two files, let's say I'm a developer, I have developed a file, file number 1 and file number 2. I want to compare between these two files. What the like a comparison between these two files. So we can easily accomplish our goal using this. So let's say FC/A. Okay, then let's say we have already two files right now. Let's say on the source file, source, right? And then I have a file, let's say called ip.txt. So this is my one file, and I give another file, and it's called C:/backup. And let's over there also I have a file called ip.txt. So I want to compare these two files using fc command. Let's see what is showing here. She said no differences encountered because this is the same file, because there is no data differences, right? So let's say I want to, on purpose, I just change something here. Let's say host file equal to, just change one file, save. Let's say how smart it is. It find it or not, I'm not sure, but let's say. Yeah, so he can say, you see, now he say, yes, I compare both file, and look here, in the first file, he say your host name equal to this, and the second file, the host name equal to, and I place number 1 in that the end, right? So now he found the differences. So again, it is just, in the real world, normally developer type of folks, they use this type of tool. But there are a lot of other graphical tool as well available. But DOS already have this command. So if you want to take the advantage of this command, file compare, FC command. Okay. Okay, so clear screen CLS. Now next command I'm going to discuss the SC command, service control command. So SC, normally SC again slash question mark, see what happened. So SC query enumerates the state of the active service and drivers. SC query event log. So you can check all kind of query, like SC service control. So let's say just type the SC then query. Let's see what happened. So he say, okay, how many services is running on my system? Who are those, etc. It shows me all the details here. Okay. So again, it's a handy tool if you want to stop some services. So you can open another command here. Just type services command. And graphically, if you want to see that these are services that are running on our system, right? Some services up, some look, you see that this running, some are stopped. So if you double click any of this service, this is Adobe, you say status tab equal to automatic, services status equal to running. We can easily stop it from this using graphically and then click OK, right? Or we can using this command. So let's say here, I think there is a command here called spooler, print spooler. Let me see, I believe it is, every computer should have something here. So let's say print spooler, it is running right now, right? So if I say, and watch very carefully that name of the file is spool spc.exe. This is the like executable that make this service. So service name equal to spooler. So this service is running. So if I want to, let's say for whatever reason, I want to stop this service, I can say sc stop, and then my file name equal to spooler, spw, right? If I type this command, you see now he say, okay, stop pending, state equal to. So if I go here and do a refresh, right click or refresh button here, you can say. So now if you say print installer is now stop. Before it was running. Look, it is now, it is a stop, as you can see status equal, because I did it from the command prompt. If I want to start it again, instead of start, stop, I can now say start, enter, and he's okay. He did, but his state equal to stop pending. Start pending means he's still working in the background. So again, if you come here and just refresh button, and now look, it's spooler is again running. So this is a handy tool. Sometimes we need to programmatically run something. Let's say again, it is, as you might ask this question, hey, I can do it graphically, why I need to learn the command prompt? Command prompt is mostly like an advanced level user, right? As I mentioned earlier, that let's say this is the scenarios where I want to run something. So before I run, I want to stop a service for, let's say, for 1 hour. So I can easily create a job and say, hey, you at 2 a.m., you stop this service for 2 hours. And then by that time, I do whatever another thing, like another job will execute. And after the execution, I can say, okay, now you start this service. So you can easily programmatically, we can accomplish our goal using writing the automation script. Okay, so next command we are going to discuss my favorite command called typeperf. So before I talk to typeperf, if I believe in video number 2, we discuss about perfmon. So if I go to perfmon command, this is a performance monitor. Let's say I'm a performance tester. Whenever we want to monitor the performance of a server, perfmon is really handy tool, right? That, okay, what I'm giving a load, like right now, let's say 1,000 user logging to my system, or 5,000 people logging to my system. So what is the CPU utilization, memory utilization, the hard disk utilization, etc. So performance definitely help us to monitor those type of things. So if I go to performance monitor, and if you click the add counter, and there are a lot of counter like a CPU, memory, like a processor. So if you add the processor, related counters here. And then if you type here memory related counters, this is alphabetically. So you can easily find out memory here somewhere. Let's say here the memory, right? So now I added two counter. One is called processor and memory. If I click OK, it is start monitoring my CPU and memory both, right? So this is graphically we can add it, but we can accomplish this goal using a more programmatic way because let's say I'm running a script that will monitor 5,000 user logging to my system next 1 hour. So, and this, I want my computer now monitor what is the CPU and memory utilization in that 1 hour. So in that case, we can easily use the help of Parkmon. So the command prompt utility of Parkmon called typeperf. So if I now go to the, let's say go to my C drives, typeperf, it is really a very handy tool. And because I personally like performance monitoring, so you can easily develop a script using typeperf command. So let's say typeperf, and if you watch all the options that it provided here, -O, -QX, and here some example it also show you, right? So you really, as I mentioned, you don't need to memorize all the syntax. If you type /? it will give you the manual. So just watching the example, you can follow the syntax. So let's say I want to create some file from the counter. So I'm interested about physical disks. I'm interested about memory. I'm interested about, let's say, CPU. So to do this thing, so let's say typeperf -QX, and let's say physical disk, and -O means I want to create a output file. So output file will be, let's say, C:/temp/ let's say disk.txt. So what it will do, it will actually export, QX means export all the counters for physical disk. Here you go. So then I do the same thing, then now let's say CPU. So just a CPU.txt, and instead my counter will be now processor. PROCESS, processor, right? So then it will create, here you go. Now I do the last one called memory. So now if I do the memory here, so basically we have now created 3 files for these three counters. So now if I go to temp folder, so you can see CPU.txt, and you can see here it will actually created all the processor. Let me make it down. Yeah, so let's say processor time, processor. So I'm interested about only one counter here. So just take processor/processor time and delete everything. So this is my processor/processor's total processor time. I'm interested about this counter. So I copy this counter and let's say make a new file. I just create a counter file here. So this is my one file. And then I go to my disk. So here also, this is all the disk related counters here. So which one I should take? So let's say total, average, read time. There are lots of counters. So if you interested, definitely I do not, I'm not interested to collect all the counters here. So I'm checking from total disk, let's say average disk queue length, and maybe read and write access. So read queue length. Just take these two guys for now. Okay. So this is my two counters from the disk I'm interested. So I copy and then paste it to this file. Okay. Okay. Now next go to the memory one. So from the memory, the most important thing normally we're interested for memory is page per second. Let me see where it is. Memory pages per. Yeah. So this guy. Okay. So copy. So from 3 different files, my goal is to whatever the counters I'm interested, I just copy those. So from the processor, I take one. From the physical text, I took two. And from the memory, I take one. So this is my file. I just save it, this file, and give a name. Let's say call just counters.txt, right? Counters. Okay, save it under temp folder. Okay, good. So now I go to CD10. Now I'm telling computer, okay, now you start running my collecting the data for those counters that I'm interested. Look, they already give an example here. So if I now copy this like a counters type per minus CF, space minus CF. So CF means, as you can see, file name. What is the file name? So I already create a file name called counters, right? So let's say I type perf minus CF counters.txt. Make sure that I'm not a spelling mistake. Minus CI, that means collect the data every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds you collect the data. And minus C means how many times? I say, okay, collect data up to 50 times. So if you can, let's say if you are interested about 1 hour to monitor, so 1 hour equal to, like a 60 minutes. 60 minutes means 60 times 60, how many? 3,600 seconds. So if you collect every 5 seconds, so 36 minus divided by 5, whatever it is. So for now, I just put 50 here. And then you can say, okay, minus O, whatever the data you find out, and that find out, okay, that's a, you can say perf.csv. So our goal to create a CSV file for this output. So basically, this is really nice command that from the counter.txt, take the data, whatever the parameters are there or counters are there, start monitoring those file and sample the data because he's collecting data every 5 seconds. If I run this thing, look, he's starting the collecting data. Okay. So these data in one point, like after 50 times, he will stop automatically. And then after that, we can analyze from the Microsoft Excel file. We can do a pivoting table, make it graphical part. So let's continue this thing. I just minimize this window so that we can come back later on. Okay, let's move on. Another very nice command called Logman. So Logman related to this, if you will go to the perf mode again. So in the performance monitor, you can see user data collector set, user defined. So if I want, I can easily create a new data collector set here and give a name and then I can create a new template, create manually, etc. So this is a graphically I can do it, but let's do it from the command prompt. So to do this thing, let's open another command prompt, CMD, right click, run as administrator. Okay, so this is my another command, CD. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, just type first logman /?. As I said, always check the manual logman and says lots of information you can say. Logman start par, so I can start a log, I can create something. Look here, this is I want to logman create counter perf log. This is so let's say I want to create a log file for my performance from the CPU processor time. Okay, if I want to do that, just copy this line and say, okay, edit, paste. So it doesn't. Okay, let me type it manually. Maybe I can do it like this. Sometimes it doesn't copy and paste. Here you go. So I say, okay, create a log file called using Logman command. Logman create counter. What is the name of the counter? Called parp_log. And what counter he'll be creating? Like a from the processor total time, right? If I press enter, it will create actually a log file. Look here. Under user define, now it create a log file called parp_log. And this log will start collecting the data related to the what you just said, like a total processor time. So right now this log is not started yet. So if you want to start it, so this is just a parf logman start. What is the log name? You create the log parf_log. Right? Now it will start collecting the data for you. Look here. It is started. When it is started, if you now come here, look, it is started the collecting log. Right? Performance log counter. And that log by default it goes to this folder C parf log admin, and then there is a file name here. So it is start collecting the log. What we have done before in using type parf command, almost same idea, right? And let's run little see few more time. So if it is, let's say after 10 minutes or after 15 minutes or after 1 hour later, you just stop it. If you stop it, then you can say, okay, stop. Okay, great. Now it is a stop. Now just come back to the graphical part here. Now go to the report section and user define. Look, this is the report for you. It create a report. If you double click, look, it collect the data for us. So this is really handy, right? I just say, okay, you run it. Next 1 hour, 2 hours, I'm doing some performance testing, right? What is the behaving? So in one pod, I created like a simulator. Let's say there are a lot of software is available. Okay, I have now mimicking that 5,000 people log into my application. Let's say developer create an application called abc.com. They want to do the performance testing. So when they do the simulate 5,000, 10,000 people log into the system, at that time, let's say they start at 10 a.m. in the morning, and they told, this is the coordination. I'm a network guy. Say, hey, can you collect the data when we, next from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. as an example. So within these 2 hours, they simulate that simulation that 10,000 people will log into the system, and I'm the server administrator. This, okay, you collect the log CPU utilization for that 2 hours. So I just run this command start, right? I first create a log CPU total processor time, and I say, okay, you start it at 10 a.m. and then at 12 p.m. I just stop it. And if I want to make it more programmatic, I just create a job. Like I create a batch file and say, okay, start it at 10 o'clock, stop it as 12 o'clock. And after that, when it is done, then I just come here and I just create this graphical thing, and then we can analyze, we can share this report to the developers. Then we can say, hey, this is the CPU utilization during that part. And also if I make it more programmatic way, let's say we'll first run against of 1,000 users, see what is the CPU condition, then against of 3,000, then against of 5,000. So we can take the sample in different number of users and then compare, okay, under which situation CPU actually goes so high. So that we can take a like a summary here, okay, something we call like a load testing, right? Okay, that but in other word, we can say stress testing. Okay, this server is capable to handle, let's say, 10,000 concurrent user. So that means 10,000 people can log into the system, and the system behaves very well, right? So those type of thing we can easily accomplish using this. Again, it is a very advanced level command. Normally, performance tester or network administrator folks run this type of command, type per. Okay, so now you see the after 50 times this command completed successfully. So if you go to the temp folder now, in the park.csv file. If you have an Excel file now, it will now create a file for us. So let me close it, see that what happened. So these are different data sample he collected. Look here. It's okay. This is my processor time, disk time, and the memory time. Right? These are the different type of sample he created for us. And if you want to make it graphical, let's say I want to now create a report for my management, right? I go to where it is, insert, I guess, right? Yeah, so I can insert, create a graph like this, right? Maybe this one is good, or maybe this one. Here you go. So now, which time, what CPU memory you can easily convert it, right? It's very nice tool. You see that this type of command really helpful. Right now in this example, as I said, like let's say I'm a performance tester, I can easily accomplish this goal using this type perf and logman command. Okay. Okay. So now let's talk about a scheduler task. We already talked in video 1 and 2, scheduler. So if there is a SCH TASK, right? If you type a scheduler task and then slash query, first, slash question mark to see all the command. Look here, all the like a syntax. You can all the parameters you can see. So first of all, let's say if I say query. So these are the job in my system right now, in this particular computer that I'm working. Some are ready, some are disabled. As you can see, these are the job. Backup, scan, reboot, ready, etc. Right? So if you want to create your own job, you can easily create using the create command. You can create your own job here as well. So for example, I want to create a job running every, let's say, whatever time. So let's create a job from the command prompt. To do this thing. So remember, we create a folder called backup, right? That Robocopy command. Why don't we run this command now? So let's I still have, if I press up arrow, I believe that Robocopy command is still here somewhere. Here you go. So this is the command I highlight now. Control C, I open a notepad. Control V. So now we tested manually. We ensure that yes, it is working fine. I want to run it automated way. So I just now file, save as, and I give a name called, let's say, backup.bat. All the back file must be extension.bat and all files. And of course, it is a good practice. I am to create a folder. So let's assume it is my backup server. I create all my script under a script folder. So I create a folder called script so that I know exactly where I keep all the script. Script means batch file. Okay, so I just save it. So backup.bat file, I save it under my script folder. Here you go. So now, if I want to create a scheduler job, I can do it graphically or I can do it from the command prompt as well, right? So let's say CLS SCH TASK scheduler task. And then slash create. Of course, there is a create command here. And then let's say, okay, you want to run it every, let's say, whatever time, SC minutes. So every minute, so let's say I want to run it in every 20 minutes, for example. Okay, every 20 minutes. I want to then TN, I believe, let's say, what should I say, daily maybe, right? Daily backup. Give a name, just whatever you want. And then you can say, okay, now TR description. And then where is your script? So your script equal to, you can say, okay, so let me see, C:/ script / backup.bat. And this is my, so let's see what happened here. Look here. So now he said the scheduler task daily backup has successfully been created. So this is, we just created a job using task scheduler command, and or you can easily type SCH on the task scheduler on the search option. If you want to come up here and look, these are all the job we can see. The job right now we are creating called daily backup. You will see here as well. Look, this is the job we created, right? If you double click, and if you want to see, okay, what job triggers, it will job like this, right? Every 20 minutes. Action, it will run this backup.bat file from that particular location, right? Script location. So this is a nice handy tool, right? A scheduler job. If I want to script and I can run right away, I can do it. The good part is that, again, it is for the advanced user. Let's say I have to create this job every day, 20, 30 job I have to create it. If I do it graphically, it will take so a lot of time. But if I have a script, because the script is just like it is my, I already have a script. So I just, if someone say, okay, create another job, I just change the parameter here and there, right? So I can easily accomplish this goal and create multiple jobs together. So a scheduler job is another very handy tool. So what next? So let's say next one we can do another nice command called DISM command. It is a deployment image service and management. So it is not too many times normally we use, but it is also a handy tool for sure. So let's type DISM /?. So here you can see it is mostly you can take the Windows image, deployment image servicing and management tool. So deployment image servicing and management tool, this is the short format called DISM, right? Version 10.0 or whatever version. And again, it is, you can say, you can enumerate, install, uninstall, configure, updates, features, package in Windows image. So it is basically you can, create an image, delete an image, those type of thing. You can do it from here. But I personally, I don't use from the image point of view, but more about as a query point of view. Let's say I want to see how many features that Windows install here. Windows has the features and roles, right? So if I say DISM / let's say online, and then let's say / get features, get affiliate features. So this one, it is very nice. How many features that I have installed on my machine? So this will give me those features name here. It is almost similar. If you type appwiz, another nice command, appwiz.cpl. Appwiz.cpl will tell you like a graphical way, look how many application install on your machine. Look, these are the application, right? And on the left side, look, there is a option here called turn Windows feature on and off. So if I click here, it will tell these are the features, whatever you see the checkbox, these are the features installed on my system. Right? So if you want to turn off some system or want to check some status, then this is a nice handy tool that using DSM, I can accomplish this goal as well. Okay. So, but again, I do not recommend to you if you are not really very like an advanced user, don't try to use this command. But so first, don't touch the production server. Maybe you can use your own personal computer first, and then laptop, and maybe non-production server. And if you're comfortable, then you can use this command in the production environment. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about few more utility. So one utility called resmon. If I type resmon command, oops, it is resmon, I mistype. So if I type res monitor, so again, this is a resource monitor, same idea like performance monitor. But the task manager, we saw the same thing called task manager as well. But this is specifically for resource monitor. CPU, see the CPU, memory, disk, and network. So if you want to see the details, all the information is here as well, this monitor. It's a security center, another favorite thing called security, WSCUI.cpl. So this is a Windows actually has a utility called security center. It has the, the Windows Defend firewall, etc. Everything is here. So you open the security center. Look here, from the graphical perspective, they call security and maintenance. So if you look at the security tab here, just click it here. So now you can see that it's called security, view the Windows security, virus protection security, and UAC control security. So there are 3 levels of security here under one platform. You can see that. So it's called Security Center. So how to open Security Center? WSCUI.cpl. So if I want to see the Windows Firewall status in my machine, I just click here. It will give me the firewall, local domain, network, private, and public. If I want to see the virus protection, like Windows Defender, it will give you the current, the current status, virus protection, ransomware protection, etc. These are, Microsoft did a very good job, to be honest. Like they have a built-in with your Windows 10 operating, Windows 11 operating system, virus and threat protection, ransomware protection. So this is really a necessity tool, must be running on every laptops. So now if you want to run only the, let's say, firewall, let's say you are interested about the Windows built-in firewall, every Windows has a built-in firewall, firewall.cpl. You should also open the Windows firewall. So it is the one of the component that we just saw before in the Windows Security Center, right? So if you want to open only that particular specific component like a firewall, you can easily private endpoint, you can develop your skills, how to, inbound and outbound connection, everything you can protect it here, okay? So nice handy tool as well. And then lastly, we can discuss about Windows Update. Every computer has a Windows Update, as you know. A lot of time you can see in your computer that, hey, you need to reboot your machine because there is a Microsoft patch installed on your machine. So if you want to open that Windows Update, WUAPP, so this command, oops, I believe it is WUAPP. Yeah, I think it's, oops, it doesn't work. Okay, so maybe it missed Windows Update. Windows, because sometimes they change the machine right now. I mean, look here, this is Windows Update and Delivery setting. Just type update, I think. It will bring you to the system where here you go. So Windows Update, right? So this one, it will tell you what is the current. In this machine, as you can see, he tried to install Windows 11 on my machine. Probably it doesn't have enough space. That's why it keeps failing, as you can see here, right? And if you want to go down, you see, you can give the pause for 7 days. You can play around on those things, right? On that, yes. What is the update history? View the update history. Like especially, this is also another handy. Let's say something works yesterday, but today didn't work. Whatever reason, you can come to the history. So what happened? Oh, there is a patch installed last night. And because of that patch, maybe something went wrong. So you can easily uninstall that patch if you want to. So this is another handy location to view the Windows update, or if you want to update manually, you can also update manually from here. And I look, there is an option called uninstall update, recovery option, because sometimes update create problems, right? So especially application point of view. You have an application called application A. It was running fine yesterday, but today that application is not working. So you are you are troubleshooting. Hey, what happened? So what have changed since yesterday to today? Maybe Windows updates. You come here, oh, the last night there was an update installed on this machine, and because of that, probably it is not working. So you do some research, and it's okay. Let me uninstall it first. is it works? If it is work, then definitely this is the root cause, right? So this is Windows Update is a very handy location to come up here. So I believe this is all about for today. So Windows built-in command shell part 1, part 2, part 3, these 3 video I published, and we discuss around 60 to 70 command line tool / Windows utility. If anyone knows all the commands that we discuss in these 3 videos, I'm pretty sure that you will be a very good IT person. Regardless of nature of your job, you can be a database administrator, IT administrator, security officer. These commands or these utilities knowledge definitely helpful and beneficial for you. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Thank you, everyone.